Alright, so this video is going to be on the new finalmouse that is coming out, and I want to start this video with, I did originally make a video about this, but I wanted to make an updated one because a lot of stuff has changed, and there's a lot of just new things that have come out, and I do have a lot of tabs up here that I want to talk about, but I first want to go over the specs. As they say, 37 grams. It does have like a new sensor, I'm pretty sure. I forgot what it's based off, but it is like a really nice sensor. And obviously people say it's 37 grams. We're going to get to that in a second, but they say a 2-month battery life. That's most likely on 500 hertz. I would guess it's going to be around normal battery life for a wireless mouse. And they talk about how it's faster than every other mouse in existence. I would definitely say it's probably marketing. I would say to the eye, there probably won't be much of a difference. None of this even here, besides I guess the weight, should be a deciding factor at all. And they did delay it again, so it's May 1st instead of April, and then I think March it was originally. So that kind of sucks, but finalmouse always delays. It's kind of to be expected, so I guess nothing like new there. But I want to talk about the weight. As they show on Twitter, at 39 seconds in a random Tfue video, they say it's 44 grams. I don't think they've ever spoken about this before. Besides, they said it was like 48 grams here, but I don't think they've ever like said this really before. That it is, the medium sized is 44 grams, and the small size is 37, as they say. I would say it's probably going to be around 46 to 47 for the medium, and then 40 around 40 for the small size. And I also want to point out here, they show the G Pro X. This is just a small thing. The G Pro X at 63 grams. It's actually 60 and 61, I think, on the white. I don't think it's actually 63 on the white. I think one person showed 63, but it was like a few grams off. So they really cherry-picked that weight. And yeah. But I also want to talk about this. There's a new mouse out called the M1K and M2K. The M1K is old. It was like the 23 gram mouse, I think. It didn't have a scroll wheel, but it came out in 2019. It was made out of carbon fiber. It was like a Kickstarter, I think. And they sold it in like 2021, I think. Yeah, 2021. The last one. So like the last ever. But it came out in 2019. They announced it. And then they just came out with the M2K, which is the same thing with a scroll wheel, which this one did not have a scroll wheel. That's what it was missing. And this one has 8,000 hertz polling rate. But people are justifying this. It comes in at 24 grams and 299 euro. If you don't know what that is $350, 441 Canadian dollar as of April 1st. So with like the exchange rate and everything. So yeah, that is a lot of money, a ton of money for a mouse. And this is the lightest wired mouse out. This is the lightest wireless mouse out. Going from 24 grams to 37 grams, yeah, that is a pretty big difference, but not like a huge deciding difference, like a groundbreaking difference at all, in my opinion. You will obviously be able to feel it, but I would have to guess. I don't think this is just. I don't think it's worth $350. But I think people actually justifying this at $350 just shows. I think you can justify the finalmouse in one way or another. But I also want to talk about the Superlight. The black Superlight is always in stock now. The white one is not always in stock, but it's like in every other week or so, I'd say. But it is still being sold on Amazon for a pretty decent amount. It's still being sold at about $190-ish, trending at $195. So we'll say $195, but I don't think anybody's buying that. They're just gonna wait for it. But I would say if you are even considering a mouse at $150, you most likely have the money to spend on a $189 mouse. I know like the difference is like $30-ish or so, but I think if you still have the money for a $150 mouse in general, without throwing all your bank account out, I think you probably have the money for this. And finalmouse is not meant to be cheap. They're not meant to be budget. They're not meant to be anything. They drop once and they dip and go work on whatever they're doing, hiding in their cave. So it's more of just like owning a finalmouse. And I also want to talk about the Series M. I don't support HK Gaming. They're a really scummy company. But if you do go on Amazon, there's this mouse called the Series M, which is basically a clone of the mid-sized finalmouse. It's not one-to-one, I don't believe, but it is very similar. 54 grams. What I would say you could do if you want to try it is buy it and return it. Try the shape out for a few days and then return it. Because HK is pretty good with returns. That's one thing I have to say. I got their GK61 once, and they gave me my refund back in like a day. So I would definitely say try this out if you don't know if you like the mid-size shape, and you are considering it, like you're on the fence. But if you know you already like the Ultralight 2 shape, I would just say go for the Ultralight 2 shape. Personally, I'll probably go for the mid-sized, but I think this is definitely a good tip just to see if you even like the shape in general, because shape is huge. You probably shouldn't be spending $189 on a shape that you don't like. So yeah, and mice are getting more expensive. People are still paying $120, I think, for a normal G Pro wireless. Why? Why are you doing that? If you can justify even $120 for a 80-gram mouse that came in like 2018, you can probably justify a little bit more for this. I think $189 is a huge price tag, but for a flagship mouse that's the lightest wireless mouse on the market, I still think it's worth it. But that's just my opinion. Obviously, if you only have $189 in your bank account, you should not be just spending it all on this mouse. It's only worth it if you have the budget for it, obviously. But I think the price for the mouse is worth it, is what I'm trying to say. Like, what you're getting in this mouse, it will be the best mouse out, is what I'm guessing. It will be the #1 mouse out. Like, it's going to most likely it's going to have the best features on the market, is what I'm guessing. And it will be considered by everybody the best mouse on the market. That's just what's going to happen. And it has a lot of hype, and even then you're going to be able to resell it if you don't like it for over $189. I will bet you like everything you will be able to resell it over $189 if they just do a normal drop and they don't just sell it forever. But if they do just keep it on their website, you're obviously not going to be able to get $189 out of it. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents on this topic. I just think it is worth the money necessarily. I'm not a finalmouse fanboy, but I do think it is worth the money. But also, it does come down to what you have in your bank account. As I said, if you only have $189, you probably shouldn't spend $189. You shouldn't spend all your money. But if you have the budget for it, or you're on the fence about it, I would say it is going to be a really good mouse. So yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. Peace.